Good day. This would be an introductory video or a first video on information technology under LS323, and this is the first session which pertains to information systems and the organization. We're looking at here as how technology actually supports the various levels of organization and connected concepts. Let me start with an introduction of what an information system is. So we define here information system as a set of interrelated components that collect, manipulate, and disseminate data and information and provide feedback to meet an objective. So here although information system in general may not involve a computer information system, but here we're focusing that we're referring here to information system that is supported by the computer. And information systems feedback can help organizations achieve their goals and achieve revenues and reduce costs. So the reason why most of the companies are actually adopting the use of ICT are those feedback from the information system in the organization. So to make a short review, we have here a components of information system. That's the reason why we use the term information system, because this term pertains to support of ICT to the organization. So let's start with hardware. I think we are very familiar with the hardware part, which is the physical components of the computer. We have also the hardware or the software part. Tapos the networks, the communication between different components of computer or from other location, that is the networks or telecommunication, the people involved, and the process or the procedure within that. So we're looking at here not on every component, but as an organization and how these different components coordinate to support an organization, and that's what the information system concept is all about. So before that, since information system is talking about transforming data into information, we are defining here what's data and what's information. So when we look at raw facts such as employee number, total hours, work in a week, inventory, parts number, or sales order, we are referring that to data. While if we process this information, we are actually talking about information already. So here we are and the next level to information is what we call knowledge. So we have data, tapos when we process that data, we convert it into information. And also um, sometimes data given the context are already called information. So that means we already processed it paired with the context and what and how it is was used. For instance, age of a person or age as a number is data, but when we make it up, it's an age of a person. It's somehow considered information, although processed data can be average age of a person to be considered information. But when you put context on the data, sometimes it will be considered information. So data is not limited only to text. We have also alphanumeric data, image, video, and audio file. They are all considered as data. So we define also process here as a set of logically related tasks performed to achieve a defined outcome. So the process here is actually a step from one to two, one to three procedures in an organization. It can be sometimes referred to as a procedure. In addition, when we process information, we also call it knowledge, the awareness and understanding of a set of information and the ways that information can be made useful to support specific tasks or reach a decision. Is that we also call this actionable information, information that can be given, can be given as an action by the management in the organization. Also, the perspective of the organization on computer sets or information can be seen as an input process output or IPO process with feedback. So we look at here as data are inputted and will produce an output, and it's also processed. And since all activities are already anticipated, you can actually forecast future events to avoid problems from the gathered data, and from feedback. And feedback is always visible almost for everyone for input and the processing part to be able to improve the performance or what has been observed. So earlier we defined information system, but to be specific, we are actually referring to a single set of hardware, software, databases, telecommunications, people, and procedures that are configured to collect, manipulate, store, and process data into information. So if you can look at, you can observe, this is now referring to technical aspects of a computer or ICT in general. In contrast, we also have a term technology infrastructure, all the hardware, software, databases, telecommunication people, and procedures that are configured to collect, manipulate, store, and process data into information. So actually almost the same, but the difference is that the information system are configured as one, while the technology infrastructure can be from different parts. Okay, so this is the focus of the course. We start with the information system because we believe that this is a collection of set of software or of the IT components that can support the organization. We can say a set of IT infrastructure, but here we focus on the support of information system to various levels of the organization, which is the target of the course, the target of this lecture. So you have two major components or types of information systems that supports the organization. The first one is operation support systems, meaning systems that support the organization. And second is management support systems or systems that support the management level. So if you can recall, there might be 2 or 3 levels of management within the organization. To recall, we have the lower level of management or the operational level. Second is we have the tactical level or the middle management and the top management or sometimes called strategic management. But here, instead of using the levels of management as basis, we are dividing only the organization into operation support system and the management support system. So let me start with the operation support system. There are 3 types of operation support system. The first one is the transaction processing system. Second is process control system, and third, enterprise collaboration system. In transaction processing system, this pertains to any system that record and process daily transactions. So this is a very common system that gathers data for the organization. If we will say, for example, in a mall, an example of a TPS is the POS or point of sale system used by cashier. These are systems that captures all the data to be inputted in the computer, and that's example of a TPS. Second is process control system. This monitor and control physical processes. So when we look at the processes within the organization in a manner that is composed of physical components, then we are referring to process control system. Example of a process control systems in the manufacturing industry is, for example, automated assembly of certain items. That's called process control system. Here there are physical processes that can be monitored and controlled through that particular information system. That's why we call it process control system. This is common for manufacturing or processes that involves robotics or automation. The third one is enterprise collaboration system. The purpose of this information system is to enhance team and work group communication and productivity. They are sometimes referred to as office automation systems. So, enterprise collaboration system are sometimes referred to as a communication system between different groups, although this might be supported by the information system, and the common example of this one is a project management system. But the purpose of this one is to collaborate on tasks to be able to achieve a certain objectives for the organization. So, let me repeat, operation support systems, there are 3 major types. The transaction processing system, which supports the daily operation of the organization. The process control system, if the organization has something, an equipment or device that needs to be controlled or monitored. And lastly, enterprise collaboration system, if the organization is using like a project management software or even messenger to communicate with each other to be productive. The other types of information is for management support system. We can equate that majority of the operation support system pertains to the operation level of the management or lower level of management. So management information system support, firstly is management information system, followed by decision support system, and third executive information system. The management information system reports and displays for managers to help them make better decisions. These are reporting systems. In the past, management information systems are referred to as management reporting system, because the purpose of this system is to support management report needs of the organization or upper management. Next is decision support systems. These are direct computer support for decision making. It might appear that management information system or decision support system or EIS are almost similar. The main difference is that DSS is designed to support a certain goal or the organization that needs a decision. So these are only a collection of data or just a reporting system that is intended to support expected regular decision or task that requires decision making by the management. And lastly, we have executive information system. These are critical information specifically for executive to make better decisions, not just a better MIS. Sometimes they are presented in a dashboard type, but the purpose of this is to summarize information for higher level management. At least there is a reference for their decision also. Bottom line, majority of the management support systems are supporting the middle and top management of the organization. Okay, so aside from those types, there are also encompassing information system that can be observed in organization, and we have here five additional categories of information system. The first one is the expert system, which is about experts' advice for operational decisions. These are information systems that sometimes automate the decision or assist the decision of a certain person in the organization. Next is a knowledge management system. These are support systems that support creation, organization, and dissemination of business knowledge. So the focus here is to capture the knowledge of the organization and document it. So most of the time, this is only about documentation of knowledge within the organization. The focus of this one is sometimes this is managed by the software, but at least all of the information needed by the organization is compiled into a certain systems. So that's why it's knowledge management. This can be imagined as a set of special orders or memorandums of policies of the organization that will guide also every individual and can scan through different policies of the organization. So this can be considered a repository of all knowledge of the organization. Next is strategic information system. This is apply IT to product, services, and processes for strategic advantage. These are information system targeting a certain purpose of the organization. The target is to become competitive over the existing competitors. So strategic information is designed are systems that are designed to guide organization to target its objective, to lead or to take advantage of the opportunity and to leverage the existing practices of the organization. So the focus here is we are looking at the IT products and services and use it to your advantage. Next is the functional business systems. These are support basic business function. These are information systems that are intended for a certain department or division. So we call this functional business information system. And one example of this one is the human resource information system. This is considered a functional system because it is only intended for the human resource. Another is accounting information system. This is an accounting system, and this is a system that designed for a particular department or function of the organization. So they are called functional business systems. And lastly, we have cross-functional systems. These are integrate various roles and outputs into a variety of functions. Now, recently, we don't view information system as functional. Instead, we look at the majority of them on, of course, functional systems, meaning they are supporting at least two departments or more or less the organization itself, different functions of the organization, but not only one particular function. And to present it in a graphical view, if you look at this one at the top is the information systems, and it can be classified as operation support system. On the other hand is management support system, where operation support system support business operations, while management support systems support managerial decision making. And under operation support system, we have the transaction processing system, process control system, and enterprise collaboration system. With specialized processing system enumerated or in the earlier slide, we call these other categories of information system. While in the management support system, we have management information system, decision support system, and executive information system, and also specialized information system. The other categories will depend on the systems that we are creating. So it might be classified as operation if it supports the operation, and if it can be classified, if it supports decision making of the management, then it can be classified as management support system. Take note also that we are not limiting any information system. That means if you look at an information system of the organization, you need not to classify each of them. It can be that an organization is using only one system for operation and for management support, but they call it only a certain management information system. So we don't force ourselves that a system belongs to a certain types of information system. There are information systems that are encompassing, but we can only extract a particular function that support, for example, transaction processing system or executive information system. But in the perspective of the organization, it might be that this is only one system. So I think that's it for today, for this session. What you need to remember is that we are actually talking here about support of IT in each levels of management or in a particular area of the organization. Have a nice day.